Most of us, myself included, aren't the kind of people who spend hundreds or even thousands on everyday items. Between rent, daily expenses, and travel, that's just not where the focus should be. Hey, I'm Johannes from GearUpYourLife, and today I'll show you the 12 best EDC gadgets I own, all under $50, but of course without sacrificing quality. These are items that have become a fixed part of my everyday life here at home over the past few months, and I'm pretty sure there's at least one in here that makes sense for everyone. Quick disclaimer before we start, this is not a travel gadgets video. These are everyday products I use at home and in daily life, not the gear I usually travel with. Let's start with our first EDC gadget, the Woburn X4. As you can see here in the video, this is a very compact flat flashlight. It does look a bit tactical, but it doesn't scream outdoor gear. It just fits naturally into an everyday setup. Easy to carry, easy to grab, and really never annoying to have with you. Build quality wise, it really feels solid. Aluminum body, clean buttons, and nothing that feels cheap or fragile. And as you can see in the close-up shots here, the design is actually pretty clean and modern, something I don't mind having around at home or on my desk. One thing I want to mention honestly is the weight. The X4 is a bit heavier than something like the Woburn G5, which is why, when I travel, I usually prefer the G5 instead. It's lighter and makes more sense for minimal travel or EDC setups, but for everyday use at home, the X4 just feels more comfortable and more versatile overall. What really surprised me, especially since I initially thought it was an unnecessary feature, is how often I actually use the low light mode. It's not red light, it's more of a soft, warm yellow tone, but I use it a lot in the evening, sometimes even for reading, or when I get up at night and don't want to fully wake myself up. Even something simple like going to the bathroom at night feels way more pleasant with this kind of light. Brightness wise, this thing has more than enough power for everyday situations. Walking at night, finding things around the house, or lighting up a room, briefly no problem at all. It's strong when you need it, but not overkill. Quick transparency note at the end. I reached out to Woburn myself. They sent me the X4 to test, but I didn't get paid for this video. They were super nice to work with and gave us a 10% discount code for the community. As always, all links are down in the description. The next gadget is probably the most unexpected one in my everyday setup, the Casio CA5 3W1 calculator watch. Most of the time you see me wearing my Apple Watch, but last Christmas I wanted something different, something more appropriate for certain situations, like weddings or events where a smartwatch just feels a bit out of place. I've never really been the kind of person who wants to spend a lot of money on a watch. For me, a watch doesn't need to be a status symbol, it just needs to work and feel right. And this Casio does exactly that. As you can see here in the video, it's light, simple, and sits very flat on the wrist. No distractions, no notifications, no screen lighting up every 5 seconds, just a clean, functional design. And yes, I'll be honest, I'm also a big Breaking Bad fan, and this exact watch shows up in the series, and it also appears in Back to the Future. So there's definitely a bit of nostalgia attached to it. But beyond that, it's just a genuinely practical everyday watch. It's water resistant, the battery lasts forever, and the built-in calculator is actually useful in small everyday moments, quick conversions, or just checking numbers without pulling out your phone. It's an extremely simple item that quietly does its job. No attention, no hype, just something that feels intentional and appropriate when you wear it. For me, this Casio is a reminder that everyday items don't have to be expensive to be good. Sometimes the simplest option is the one that ends up staying the longest. Next up is something that quickly became part of my everyday routine, the Bellroy Light Sling. As I already mentioned in the newsletter, I picked this one up during Black Friday. And since then, it's been my go-to sling for daily life. Not for travel, just for normal days when I want to keep things simple and organized. What I really like about this sling is that it's a perfect entry-level option. It doesn't try to be special, it doesn't overcomplicate things, it just does exactly what a good everyday sling should do. The most comfortable thing is, it's lightweight, soft, and sits comfortably across the body without feeling stiff or bulky. The material is durable but flexible, the zippers are smooth, and everything feels well put together. No unnecessary features, no gimmicks. Storage-wise, it's very straightforward. There's enough space for everyday essentials like your phone, wallet, keys, earbuds, maybe a small power bank, and that's it. Nothing gets lost, nothing feels cramped. Price-wise, it usually sits around $50 to $60 depending on the sale. That's exactly why I think it's such a good starting point, and you get solid build quality and a clean design without paying way too much. This isn't a sling for people who want maximum organization or a super technical setup. It's for anyone who wants something clean, lightweight, and reliable for everyday use. Our fourth EDC product is the Anker Prime 67-watt charger, and this is basically my daily beater here in Germany. Sitting on my desk, it's the one charger I reach for every single day. Laptop, phone, earbuds, everything gets charged from this one brick. What I really like about it is the balance between power and size. It's compact enough to keep your desk clean, but powerful enough to replace multiple chargers at once. Build quality is exactly what you'd expect from Anker. It feels solid, well finished, and reliable. The kind of charger you don't think about because it just works. With 67 watts, it handles my MacBook without any issues, and I can still charge my phone or other devices at the same time. No overheating, no weird behavior, no compromises. Price-wise, it usually sits around $40, sometimes less on sale. For something I use literally every day, that feels more than reasonable. Our next EDC gadget is the INIU power bank, but just to be clear right away, this is something I mostly use at home, not when I'm flying. The main reason is simple. simple. This specific one isn't always allowed on airplanes, so it stays here with me in daily life, not in my carry-on. That said, for home use, it's honestly great. It's reliable, holds plenty of charge, and is perfect for those moments when I'm working at my desk, moving around the apartment, or just don't feel like hunting for an outlet. I often use it to top up my phone, headphones, or smaller devices while I'm doing other things. It's one of those background tools that just makes daily routines smoother. Build quality feels solid, nothing fancy, nothing fragile. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, without overthinking it. This isn't a travel essential for me, and it's not trying to be one. It's simply a practical power solution for everyday life at home, and that's exactly why it earned its spot in my setup. Next up is the Native Union Belt Cable Duo, and this is one of those gadgets where I want to be completely honest. I bought this cable for around $30, and back then I genuinely believed it was far better than anything I had used before. And yes, I still use it, and it's a good cable. But if I'm being honest today, it's not better in a way that justifies the price. Build quality is solid, the braided design feels nice, and it holds up well in daily use. That's why it's still part of my setup. But for the same money, I'd personally rather buy 2 Anker 3-in-1 cables, or even something like the D-Watt cables, which honestly feel almost indestructible. So here's my honest take. If you're comfortable spending around $30 on a single cable, this one is good. It works well, it looks nice, and it does its job. But it's not noticeably better than alternatives from Anker that cost around $15, and those are the ones I'd actually recommend to most people. I still use this one because it's reliable, but value for money wise, there are better options out there. Next up is a tech pouch I can honestly recommend to almost everyone. The Air Pro Kit. Air in general makes excellent products, and this pouch is no exception. It's clean, well thought out, and just works. The price usually sits right around $50, and if you ever find it on sale for $40, it's a no-brainer. But even at the full price, it's more than solid. The materials feel durable, the stitching is clean, and the structure keeps everything organized without feeling stiff or overbuilt. It fits cables, chargers, power banks, and small tech items perfectly, and nothing feels cramped or thrown in randomly. This isn't a flashy piece of gear, it's simply a very reliable tech pouch that does exactly what it's supposed to do. If you're looking for something you can buy once and not think about again, this is one of those items that won't disappoint you. Our 8th gadget is the Ugreen Smart Tracker, a solid option if you're looking for something different from the usual Tile or AirTag route. I've recommended Tile for a long time, so much that it became a bit of a joke in the comments, but a lot of you asked for good alternatives, and that's exactly why I checked this one out. So what does it actually do? The Ugreen Smart Tracker comes in a tag version and a card version, which means you can put it on keys, backpacks, tech pouches, or even slip the card version into a wallet or laptop sleeve. It works through Bluetooth tracking, just like most trackers today, and pairs with your phone in a few simple steps. Once it's connected, you can see the last known location of the item in the app and make the tracker ring if it's nearby. What I appreciate about it, it's compact and not bulky in pockets or pouches. The battery lasts a long time, and it's even replaceable, and the app is straightforward and doesn't feel cluttered. But of course, it's not a perfect replacement for every situation. If you're deeply in the Apple ecosystem, AirTags might still be smoother. But for a solid cross-platform Bluetooth tracker under $50, this is a very good option. Overall, it's dependable, nothing fancy, and it does exactly what you need a tracker to do, help you find your stuff without fuss. Next up is something simple but surprisingly useful, the Matador Betalock Carabiner. At first glance, it looks like just another carabiner, but what makes this one special is the locking mechanism. Instead of a normal spring gate, the Betalock uses a twist lock system. That means once it's locked, it won't open accidentally, which makes a big difference in everyday use. I mainly use it for things like keys, attaching items to a bag, or clipping something onto my sling or backpack when I need quick access. It feels secure, but still easy to open with one hand when you're used to it. Build quality is excellent. It's made from aluminum, feels solid, and doesn't bend or flex like cheap carabiners do. It's also lightweight enough that you don't really notice it until you need it. Price-wise, it usually sits around $30 to $40, which isn't cheap for a carabiner, but you're paying for reliability and good design here. This is one of those small everyday tools that quietly earns its place. You don't buy it for fun, you buy it because you don't want things falling off or getting lost. Our 10th gadget is the Orbit Key Leather Key Organizer. I used to just carry my keys the normal way, loose in my pocket or bag, and it was always a bit annoying. Noise, scratches, keys getting in the way when you sit down. This changed that completely. Instead of keys hanging around, everything stays neatly together. No rattling, no scratching, and your pockets just feel cleaner. After a few days, it becomes automatic. You flip out the key you need, use it, and put it back without thinking about it. It usually costs around $30 to $40, which sounds like a lot for a key organizer at first, but if you carry keys every single day, the difference is noticeable. For me, it's simply a better way to carry keys. Nothing more, nothing less. Our 11th gadget is the JBL Vibe Beam earbuds, and yes, I'll admit it, I have a bit of a mini obsession with headphones. I actually got these on Black Friday, mainly because, and at that moment I just couldn't resist upgrading to something a bit more serious. What stands out with these is first of all the fit and comfort. They sit snug in your ears, they don't fall out, and you don't feel like you have to readjust them every 2 minutes, which matters if you wear them for a while, like walking around, editing, or just chilling at home. Sound quality is surprisingly good for the price, not Apple or Sony level of course, but they hold their own. The highs are crisp, the mids feel feel clear and the bass is punchy enough that music still sounds full instead of thin. For everyday listening, in a podcast, playlist, videos, they cover everything without feeling lacking. Battery life is solid too. A few hours of playtime on a charge, plus extra from the case, and the case itself is compact, easy to throw in a pocket or pouch without adding bulk. One thing I like in daily use is that they're simple to connect and don't drop the signal all the time. Not perfect, but reliable enough that you don't get frustrated with them throughout the day. And here's the real point. Compared to big name options like Apple or Sony, these don't compete feature for feature, but for what they cost, they feel way closer than you'd expect. That's what makes them such a solid budget pick. Last but not least, the TomTalk laptop sleeve. This is one of those things you don't really think about much until you actually need it. I use it to protect my laptop when it's in a backpack, a sling, or just lying around at home. What I like about this sleeve is how straightforward it is. It's slim, it doesn't add unnecessary bulk, and it still gives enough protection that I don't worry about my laptop getting scratched or bumped. Padding feels solid, the zipper is smooth, and everything stays exactly where it should. Nothing fancy, nothing overbuilt, and just clean and practical. Price-wise, it usually sits somewhere between $20 and $30, which feels fair for something that protects one of the most expensive items you carry every day. It's been reliable, it does its job, and I never feel the need to replace it, which is usually the best sign. And don't click away just yet, because right after this, I've got 4 bonus gadgets coming up that are definitely worth a look. But before we jump into the bonus gadgets, a quick note about the review channel. It's been around for a while, and starting this month, I'm finally posting consistent, in-depth content over there. There are already 2 reviews live, and by the end of the month, it'll definitely be worth sticking around. Thank you so much for the support already. Over 1,200 subscribers with just 2 videos really means a lot. You'll find the link as the first link in the description or in the pinned comment. Bonus Gadget 1, Peak Design Mobile Tripod. The first bonus gadget is the Peak Design Mobile Tripod. It's incredibly small, super flat, and lives in my bag almost all the time. Perfect for quick phone shots, time lapses, or just propping your phone up on a desk. It's solid, well built, and doesn't feel fragile despite its size. Price-wise, it usually sits around $50. Not cheap, but very well made. Next up is the Yeti Rambler 18-ounce bottle. This is my everyday bottle for coffee or water. Keeps drinks hot or cold for hours, doesn't leak, and feels basically indestructible. Not the lightest bottle out there, but extremely reliable. Usually priced around $30 to $35. The next bonus gadget is the SanDisk Extreme Fit USB-C flash drive. Tiny, fast, and always easy to carry. Great for quick file transfers, backups, or moving footage between devices without cables. It barely sticks out of a laptop or tablet, which I really like. Depending on the storage size, it's usually $15 to $30. And the last bonus gadget is the Noshinku hand sanitizer. I've been using this one for a long time now. It's refillable, smells clean, doesn't dry out your hands, and actually looks good. Easy to carry, easy to use, and much nicer than cheap plastic bottles. Each one costs around $10, refills are cheaper. If you enjoyed this one, the video on the left is definitely for you and you'll find great travel gadgets there. And if you're not subscribed yet, you can do that right here on the right side. Thanks a lot for watching all the way to the end, and as always, safe travels guys.